Good afternoon, everybody. We're back today, and today we are going to be making prime rib soup. But right now we're going to put together the bone broth, and I've already got some of that, so we're gonna show you guys how we're doing this. So as you can see, we've already gotten our onions, minced garlic, salt, pepper, our parsley, thyme, oregano, and some rosemary in here. And we have about half of this left vegetable stock. We're going to pour this in. Get a nice little base going. Got that in there. Just going to stir it in a little bit. Just get everything moving. Then we're going to take our leftover prime rib bones from Christmas with the meat and fat and all that good stuff on there. Throw them all inside here. Get them situated where we want. Then we're going to take some rhorbachs highland ale, pour it all over our bones. Then we're going to take some beef stock. I'm going to put about half of this in there to cover it all up. There we go. Now what we're going to do is put this on low, let it cook for about 6 to 8 hours, and all this meat and fat will melt off into the stock and make a nice, tasty, delicious broth that we're going to use for our prime rib soup. I'm going to get this going and we'll be back later. Okay, now we're going to check on our soup broth. Been cooking for roughly 7 hours. You guys all saw how it went in with all the meat and fat on it. Now it's just bone. Oh yeah. I want this to cook a little while longer. Look at that. It's gonna make some nice broth for some soup. We're gonna drain this off. Get all the chunks and stuff out of there. That's going to be our base for our prime rib soup later. Okay, so as you can see, we have taken out the bones and siphoned off all the meat and fat and big chunks from the broth that we made last night. We added some more garlic and some more parsley, rosemary, oregano, salt, pepper for our broth for our soup. Now we're going to start adding all the ingredients to that. I'm going to stir this around. Turn this baby on. We add a little more beer to it just to give it a little more flavor. Not a lot, another half a can. So we're going to start throwing our ingredients in. Turn this bad boy on high just to get it going. Get things started. We'll be back. Okay, we have cut up some onions, about 1.5 celery stalks, and we cut up about 6-7 potatoes, but I left them in big chunks, bigger chunks. I don't like small chunks. I like my soup to have some chunks in it, but you can either cut these up smaller, or later on when this is done, all you got to do is just take your potato masher and mash these up, and then you can make them as small as you want. But right now this is cooking in that broth we made yesterday. The seasonings: garlic, salt and pepper, potatoes, onions, celery, and the potatoes. We're going to let this cook on high for about an hour to get everything started. Then we're going to put it on low and add the rest of our stuff. Let it cook all day. We'll be back. Okay, we've added our baby bella mushrooms, 2 cups of milk, and 1 cup of heavy cream. The potatoes are cooking up nicely. Over here, as you can see, we have already chopped up our prime rib into chunks. And we're browning up our bacon. When this is done, we're going to save the grease and make a little roux to put in our soup to thicken it up. We're going to take half this bacon, put it in the soup. The other half we're going to save as topping. So once these potatoes are starting to get soft, maybe in another hour or so they'll be soft, we will add our prime rib and the rest of our ingredients. We'll be back. Okay, we're back and our potatoes are pretty much done. We're going to take our potato masher and just mash around our potatoes and stuff inside here just to break everything up. There we go. Oh, look at that, all getting mashed up. We got our chunks, and we got some smaller pieces. Look at that. Shake that back in there. Now, we're going to add our prime rib. In there. We got about half of those in. We'll get a nice stir going. Oh yeah. Get the rest in there. Dang. Oh, we got a straggler. No stragglers. Get all in there. Look at that. We'll be back. Good. Now we got our prime rib in. We're going to add our cheddar cheese. I got a big bag from Wegmans. We're going to put about half of that in there for now. And we're going to stir it around. Let it melt together with our chunks of prime rib and potatoes. Look at that. Alright. I'll let this cook a little more and we'll be back. Okay, we have all of our cheese in, our prime rib, our potatoes, our bacon, all of that yummy goodness. But it's still a little watery. So what I'm going to do is this. We are going to take our leftover bacon grease. We're going to make a little roux. Do that. Put it on a medium-high heat and add a teaspoon of flour at a time in the bacon grease. And just whisk it around. Doing this, making the roux, will thicken the soup and then add a little flavor with the bacon grease. So I'm going to do this, show you how it turns out. I'm going to add another teaspoon right now, just to get it a little more thicker. There we go. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, just got done making our roux. You can see you want to add flour till it starts to get to be that pasty, but it's still liquid. So it's nice and thick, but it's not liquidy. And then we're going to take our paste, our roux, and we're going to put it in our soup. In a minute, honey. I'm going to scrape this in there, stir it around, let it cook for about another half an hour, and then we'll be good. Later, honey. Later you can watch Garfield. And there's our prime rib soups.
You okay? I think she's got a really chewy piece. Come on.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Waddy.
Guess what?
Eat it up, girls. Eat it up. Good.
Keep going.